What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to Diablo Resurrected. So this video is going to have some structure, alright? You guys be proud of little Ice Toad for this. There's going to be some structure and shit. What I'm fixing to do right there, is I'm going to test out Breath of the Dying. Here, I'll bring it down here. Breath of the Dying versus Death versus Grief for a Whirlwind Barbarian. And here's the gear real quick. Laying of hands for obvious reasons. Ravenfrost. String of ears. I selectively chose this because while wearing Grief or Death, for example, there's no life leech on the weapon. Granted, I have some life leech from Ariots, but that's it. So to make up for the lack, because of course Breath of the Dying has a ton of life leech and mana leech and all that, but I put this on over Dungos or whatever else. That's also the reason why I put on Mantled Heal. Because even though Breath of the Dying and Death both have mana leech, Grief does not. So I'm going to be wearing this gear with all these weapons. This thing, and this thing. Alright? I'm not going to have my Merc out. He's doing 7,800 right now is the sheet damage with Whirlwind. And I did max out Battle Orders. I maxed out Whirlwind, and I still have 23 points left because I maxed out Sword Mastery as well, alright? So a lot of nice modifiers here, but let's see how fast he can clear the Frigid Highlands and then the Trav with Breath of the Dying, which is, of course, a very nice Whirlwind weapon. Now, what kind of sucks is that you don't take advantage of the Poison Nova on killing. You just don't take advantage of that crap with Whirlwind, any procs or any chance to cast this or that. They just don't function with Whirlwind. I don't know if that was originally intended or if that is just what happened with the mechanics kind of by accident and they never did anything about it. But nonetheless, that's just how it is in D2R. If you were to play PD2, for example, the procs and all that crap, they do occur on Whirlwind, but that's just not the case here. So I'm just kind of pointing it out that some of these weapons have those procs that you're not going to be able to utilize with Whirlwind. Now, if you were to Berserk and kill crap, which I do have Berserk on my left click, which is great, especially for killing physical immunes, it just demolishes them. If that's the case, then you will proc or whatever else. It just doesn't work with Whirlwind. But of course, that thing has a ton of damage. It's very low roll, but even that almost doesn't matter. We're still doing 774 max damage with the two-hand damage on this thing. Pierces target defense, attack rating, damage to undead, maybe an underlooked stat on this, so that's a lot of undead damage. So it's quite nice when like half the enemies in the game or so are undead, so works out very well. Ton of mana and life, prevent monster heal, 30 to all attributes. It's ethereal and indestructible, so this thing is just an absolute hog. But let's see how well he fares in the Frigid Highlands. And after this, I'm going to try the other two. So let's see how quick this thicky pig. Oh, it's not okay. It's not. Oh, okay. It's not that impressive. But I still killed him. Still killed him, no problem. Let's go to the trap now. I mean, if you're in Act 1 or some shit, you're really gonna destroy enemies. I love going to places with weak ass enemies. But here we go in the Trav, just whirlwinding around. Does a pretty good job. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Breath of the Dying, it just looks cool, you know? Big, thick-ass weapon. It's ethereal. You can make it a big-ass sword, make it a big-ass lance, big axe, and all that bullshit. Really, for Whirlwind, you probably want to make it in a war pike, but whatever. I might test those things in the future. But okay, let's see how well now he fares with Death. So here's Death now. Super thick. Look at this, a champion. Are you kidding? One swat. One swat, and it did the trick. I don't know. I mean, this is doing a little better than I was expecting. Just from these couple examples, because I just went to the Frigid Highlands before I started recording, and I killed a couple things. Some of which were champions, the Bides, and it killed them in like one hit. And this doesn't even have the 200 enhanced to undead, because those birds are undead, right? That Breath of the Dying just had. But even still, man, it kicked its ass. But Death is an absolute hog. I'm a little concerned here. I mean, shit, maybe this is better than Breath of the Dying. which I guess would be kind of cool. I mean, it is cheaper. It's cheaper to quite an extent. And you could, of course, even make this in a Colossus sword, which might not be a bad way to go. You might want to check the damage and the breakpoints and all that crap and the requirements. But I mean, and it's easier to attain a Colossus sword that's 5 sockets over a Colossus blade, because you could just Larzuk socket quest the Colossus sword and you'll always get 5 sockets. All right? Whereas if you do that with this, it's going to get 6. So you're going to have to cube socket that shit and hope for the best. Or you're going to have to find it like that, which we all know can be a real pain in the ass. Of course, you could trade for both, but the fact that you can just simply Larzuk a Colossus sword is going to up its consistency and maybe lower its market value a little bit. But hell yeah! Same thing applies. These little procs, they don't work with Whirlwind, unfortunately, but it does have the Glacial Spike on attack, which you can utilize while berserking. And the Chain Lightning when you die, I suppose, is something that's always there. Just don't die, man. The damage potential is a little lower on this. Granted, this one did roll higher than the BOTD. What does this one max out at? 385, where BOTD maxes out at 400. And that's not counting the added enhanced damage if you happen to find a superior item. All right, with enhanced damage modified up to 15%. Some AR bonus, some mana leech, 7, no life leech, but that's fine. 50% chance of crushing blow is what it rolls with, just no matter what. And then it has the per level, the 0.5 per level, I believe. 0.5 deadly strike per level. So right now I'm at 88 and it's at 44%. So that coupled with the deadly strike on this thing right here, I mean, you're deadly striking a lot, all right? And then you also have the critical from your Blade Mastery, which works the same, but it calculates separately. So you can't just simply add that and assume you're always going to 100% deadly strike or critical or whatever, because these do calculate separately per hit, all right? So don't let that fool you, man. But the sheet damage is now maybe just a little lower. That's a little higher. That's just a little higher. So not much of a variation there, but let's see. I'm really surprised how quickly it killed that ass. I'm gonna BO and all that crap. I should have done that for testing purposes. Oh my god! Are you kidding me? This is, oh my god, this is better! What do you guys think? Holy freaking toad! What's cool about death is that it's really only for swords, isn't it? And axes. Like, you can't make it in a pike or a maul, for example. So you pretty much have to make it in a sword or an axe. So you just look cool, you know? You look cool because you have to make it in that shit. But it's a really good item. Well, you look a little different because obviously, like I said, BOTD in general, you'd probably want to make that in a big-ass war pike or something. Or maybe a thunder maul for style points. But okay, let's try Trav now. Yep. Oh my god, come on, Ice Boy. Come on, Ice Boy. Why isn't it looking as good? No, it's looking, oh, no, yeah, it's, yeah, it's looking pretty good. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks okay? I don't know, it's, for whatever reason. The problem is these guys always spawn a bit differently. Some of them will have stone skin sometimes they won't. So there's all that crap to factor in, you know? So just one little test isn't really the best for showcasing. But okay, let's see what Grief does. Grief, of course, really excels in one-handed weapons because of the fact that it's going to give you the same damage roll. And it's not multiplied on the weapon. There's some bullshit as to why I think it's actually better in one-handed weapons, right? Probably because two-handed weapons in general have a lot more potential. Whereas for a one-handed weapon, Grief just destroys all competition. But let's take a look and see how Grief fares now in this same test. So, I kind of forgot to mention my channel members and my patrons for making these videos possible. Thank you guys for your support. May you have many wives, and may your finances be blessed. And if you want to become a channel member or a patron to support me, click the links in the description below. And may peace be with you. So here's Grief now. Again, as mentioned, has a lot more competition in two-handed weapons. But nonetheless, it's quite a hog. Let's take a look at the stats real quick. So the Venom, to my understanding, is not going to work with Whirlwind. So you're going to you want to get that out of the way. Just go whack something a couple times with Berserk and get that Venom up. 30 IAS, which I'll have to look back, man. I can't remember. Does that shit matter in D2R or not? Let me know in the comments if you guys are familiar with that. When it comes to D2, I play too many of the mods. I can't keep this shit straight sometimes. But is Whirlwind, it is dependent on IAS to my understanding. Is that correct? And they did something recently with it that supposedly is making it a bit more viable. But let me know in the comments below if you guys have any idea. The rundown on all that. This is kind of a mid-roll. It rolls 340 to 400, I believe. And this thing rolled a damage of plus 373. So that's before all modifiers. So your screen damage is going to look like shit. But that's the line character screen, right? I think that's what this is generally known as throughout history. The line character stat screen. Because those numbers, that's not the real numbers that you're outputting. You're outputting a hell of a lot more than that. Like, it's not factoring in all your multipliers and all that shit. Because of the way that Grief happens to have the damage embedded in it. But nonetheless, it has ignored target's defense, which is a very nice mod. Piercing target defense, just like what has on Breath of the Dying. Damage to demons now, so perhaps a reason why this would pair very well with BOTD. Because you have one that gives damage to demons, one that gives damage to undead. The Poison Res Pierce is just kind of nice. You're not doing a ton with the Venom, but it still helps. The Deadly Strike shouldn't be underlooked. Something that Breath of the Dying does not have. Prevent Monster Heal, then some other relatively nice mods. The Life After Kill. And the mana after each kill. Alright, let's take a look-see. I don't really know how well this is going to do with a big-ass two-handed weapon. But let's take a look-see, man. Yep. Let's take a look-see. Let's get that Venom going. Come on. There it goes. There's the Venom. Then now... Okay, now he's frozen. Why is he frozen? Oh, because he has the aura. I don't know. What do you guys think? This guy's stone skin, doesn't he? I don't know if he had... Oh my god! He's killing him in one hit. Okay. What do you guys think? Here, hold up. Let me do the trav. I don't know. I mean, Grief is an absolute toad, but is it an absolute toad in two-handed weapons? I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like that was all that impressive, but let's see how well it does the trav. Let's see if this little thick piggy... Let's see what he can do. Oh my god! No, okay, so... It doesn't really seem to, I gotta do this on Players 8 or something. To really get down to the nitty gritty, don't I? Yeah, I gotta try this crap on Players 8. Give me a hell yeah in the comments below if you guys want to see me do the same goddamn video on Players 8. Yeah! Gotta berserk this guy. It's just not, I don't know, Grief might not be the best for big-ass two-handed weapons. What do you guys think? For like a sword and board barbarian, Grief might be good to go. You'll have Storm Shield and then Grief in one hand. It'll pretty much do the same damage I was just doing. Only you're going to have the benefit of having a shield and a ton of DR and some blocking and all that crap. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't think Grief, it might not be the best for a big-ass two-handed weapon. From this study, I think... What do you guys think won? Let me know in the comments. I mean, really, it's kind of close, but I feel like that death was kicking ass, man. Like, you're doing doubly damage and all that bullshit, and it has, you're doing it more frequently, you know? Because you just have that added 44% deadly strike. It's just crazy. So you're going to be double damaging a lot more, I would say. And you have that nice big-ass crushing blow. Which you can't go wrong. You know, the more the merrier. But let me know what you guys think about that stuff in the comments below. Which one do you think fared better? And I will do more videos on this guy. I got to get down to the nitty gritty on this bullshit. This just wasn't enough. You know, let's be honest. This wasn't enough. So more videos must be made on this shit. Yeah, like the video if you guys will. Become a patron if you want. Become a channel member if you want to support me as well. Hit that join button. I'll talk to you all later. Peace be with you.